Madden NFL 23, and there's no love lost between these NFC South foes.
It's the Saints and the Bucs, and it comes your way next.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Tonight we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, everybody, alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's the punter, Jake Camarda, set to do the honors, and off we go now from Tampa. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a 3-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
I love his football IQ. I love his ability to have people rally around him. And as he likes to remind me all the time when I get ready to call one of his games, I can run it a little bit too. A nice presence to have on your team.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on rips like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw here, Dalton. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A yard in the wrong direction. Makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
3rd down. A shot here for Dalton. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he is going to have a Saints 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
There's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It's only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
second down, and it's Kamara again. And he's able to get across midfield and down to the Buccaneer territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. They'll get this out to Kamara. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive alive. Well, that's how you use your safety valve, CD. He didn't appear to be the intended target, but they got it to him, and he was able to get just enough to pick up the first.
And what a great example of where we are right now in the NFL, because if you're a running back, you're not just going to carry it. You got to catch it out of the backfield as well. Those combo guys, they're the ones everyone wants on their team.
First and 10 for Dalton. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game. Like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Dalton. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Coming left is Kamara. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Andy Dalton. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. And Dalton to throw. That one thrown away from the pocket. And the officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. And now third and goal following incompletions on first and second down. Throwing, Dalton. Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Builds up to how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. We're scoreless after one. The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2. And the first play will be a field goal try. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Tampa Bay's offense set to take the field, and of course at quarterback, 23-year veteran who's had a Hall of Fame career several times over, the great Tom Brady.
And the first possession isn't until the second quarter, but what's nice about it, it's only down 3. So what you sell your team on is, look, one possession, one drive, we put it in the end zone. We're in the lead in this game. Let's go, guys.
Brady and the Bucs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Fournette, a first down carry. He'll get this to about the 38.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Here's Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Brady now on 1st down. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
To throw again on 2nd down. Brady, and he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. Brady going to throw. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Bucs have moved out in front.
Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Extra point up and good by Suckup. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Dalton. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Kamara up the middle. And some room to work. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 46 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, you know what they say about the best laid plans, partner. I mean, this one was totally foiled. They played for the pass. The idea was if you want to run it, that's fine. We'll rally up and make the tackle, except they didn't get it done.
Yeah, 3rd and long, and a big run there. How about that? And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka showcasing the pass rush. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Let us dictate. Let's rock and roll. Let's rock and roll.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Dalton had his hands on it but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Well, the Bucs going to take over now late in this first half. And with a 7-3 lead, we'll see how aggressive they want to be.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Here's Brady to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. This is caught by Evans. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Again, it's Brady. It's grabbed over the middle, and it's a fumble. The Saints say they have it, and they do. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Saints. And they did not do much at all in terms of throwing the football in those first 2 quarters. That's going to need to improve if they want to erase this deficit. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And that is incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now. That's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working from the gun, it's Brady.
Gets it out quick. It's Gage on the slant. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Throughout his career, Tom Brady has made a living with the quick pass, hasn't he? How about that one? A little slant inside. And I think his arm's gotten stronger throughout his career, too.
Yeah, you can just see one of many examples of why he's made more trips to the Super Bowl than any other quarterback.
Footwork, intelligence, competitiveness. That's Tom Brady in a nutshell.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Brady. And this is caught by Evans. That'll give him 8 that time. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple. Well, the Jets sweep. This is Godwin. And some room to roam now. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I think the reason this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Brady. Evans has it left side. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. He got 29 yards that time.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Now Brady. And he will find his man on the outside. And in for the Buccaneers whistle. Gage, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bucs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point put through by Succop, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
This one fielded at the 5. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Vita Vea stopped that play in its tracks.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Dalton. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Andy Dalton. Trying to lay one up deep. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And you'd think on 3rd down, they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that throw, wow, 72 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Dennis Allen going to go for 2 here. He's leaving his offense out on the field.
Here's Dalton to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
From the end zone, here comes Jalen Darden. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10
at their own 16. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And Brake has it over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Brady gives this to White. He fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And 3rd and 8 now.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And this will be taken at the 13.
A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
They run it again with Kamara, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Despite only needing one, Dalton to throw. And that will be incomplete. That close on third down. I think everybody probably expecting a run. Instead, they go to the air on third and short yardage.
I realize this is a passing league, and they're liable to throw the ball on any down and distance. But that short, I do question the call. Run the football and pick it up.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Marcus Davenport in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
If they're able to come back to tie or win this game, I think this is a play that we're going to look back on as the game changer. They really changed the tone and what the opposition wanted to do when they're trying to run some time off the clock and add to its lead late in this contest.
Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette, and he'll get this one up to about his 14. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Again, it's Fournette, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. And you wonder, could they possibly think about taking a safety here? Fielded at the 43. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Dalton. And he'll just get rid of it. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Now Dalton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't get in. They'll try to take a shot there on 2nd down, and that leaves him because of the incompletion. A very tricky 3rd and 10.
And with the time situation, you would expect him to try and get it all in this one play, but there's still enough time that if you can take something short and gain some yardage, make it a more manageable 4th down if you need to.
And this is caught. He hits Landry. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Dalton. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Big spot, Andy Dalton.
Throwing out right here, caught by Olave.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. Dalton wants to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair. Low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.